let's make our way all the way to laying back. And as you begin to settle into the ground, start to let some good deep breaths flow. Deep inhales, nice exhales. We're going to specifically play with taking an inhale for 4 counts and an exhale for 6 counts. So take a few rounds of breath like that, getting your body used to almost doing that like muscle memory. Exhale just a couple of counts longer. Keep on maintaining that long exhale breath. That breath helps us to get right out of the run and the fight and flight response and right into rest and digest. And our intention today has to do with relieving stress and tension from our system, specifically to help boost our immunity, to help make it so our immune system's working top-notch, the very best that it possibly can for us. Stress is one of the biggest things that is correlated to how the immune system is doing. So as we're more stressed, immune system function drops right down. And vice versa, as we relax, as we breathe, as we stretch, our immune system, that function works so much more effectively. So we'll also work on plenty of twists in our class today. You'll notice that that's one of our themes. So it's almost like we're helping to detoxify the body at the same time. But more than anything else, think of each stretch as being a chance to release stress. So with that idea, that theme to get us carried forward, let's begin today here by gently taking knees into the chest. And start to take very gentle rocking movements left and right. Notice just how the body is doing today. No sense of pressure, just noticing. And from here, releasing the feet. The feet are going to be planted about as wide as the mat. Let's allow the knees to fall all the way over to the left. And feel how this is a very gentle twist on the low part of the back. So you can stay here. One option to go a teeny bit deeper if you want it is taking left ankle, resting it on right thigh. But if that bugs the knees at all, don't stress about it. Continue to let the weight of the legs just continue to twist and drop open. Easy breath cycles continuing to flow. One more slow inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 counts. Releasing the ankle if you lifted it. Slowly tilt the knees up, helping the joints have mobility again. And then when you're ready, the knees tilt all the way over to the right, giving the second half right away. If it feels nice to lift the right ankle up, you're welcome to, no pressure. Allow that slow, deep breath to continue to flow. One more inhale for 4, exhale for 6. That exhale finishes, drop the ankle down. Slowly lift the knees up. It takes a little while to come back to mobility, but then it might be nice to take a few bonus windshield wipers. Just rocking the legs all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Few easy cycles for the system. Good. Back upright. Let's take our right ankle to left thigh, figure 4 stretch. We can thread our hands around that left thigh or shin. Start to breathe extra space into that right hip. That's extra tight today. Really try to ease into that inhale for 4, exhale for 6, reminding this area it's safe to relax. I give you permission. There's space to deepen the cross of the leg. We're going to tighten so that the right knee is almost directly over the left knee. And then grab onto each ankle. If there's not so much space for that, you can keep it with the figure 4. With a grip on each ankle or still wrapped around the same spot. See if there's any ability to hug the legs in a little bit tighter. New spaces of the hips lighting up. Send some of those slow breaths. Inhale 4, exhale 6 through those areas. And as the arms start to spread open to left and right, the crossed legs fall over to left. Twist it as far as feels good for the spine. Notice how this travels the twist a little bit higher up. And maybe we even allow the neck to be included in this twist, letting the chin fall any degree over the right shoulder. So take another slow, deep inhale. Nice, relaxing exhale. Gradually return the hips back to the ground. Once we're there, uncrossing the legs, let the legs extend directly up to sky. First time to feel the sensation of those legs stretch briefly. Opening the legs out wide, hands come to inner thighs. Experiencing a bit more through inner thigh area. See if you can pass through that. Inhale 4, exhale 6, another round. And then letting the knees soften to a bench shape. They come back up. Taking the left ankle to right thigh, second side figure 4. Easy, easy stretch. Take your time, nothing forceful. Feel as if each of those slow exhales is sending any tension that you discover right out the body. One more of those breath cycles. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. If the legs have the ability to cross deeper, take it to that spot, maybe grabbing to each ankle. With these new sensations, it's that connection right back into the breath. Another round, inhale 4, exhale 6. Then the arms spread open, the crossed legs fall to right. Perhaps we let the chin start to fall over to left if that feels good for neck and shoulders. More breath starts to flow in. Nice long exhale. Hips unwind. Sending the legs to the ground. And then, so when hips are back to earth, let's take some bicycles. Hands go around left knee, right leg straightens up to sky. Let it drop all the way down to hover above ground. Returning the knee in, hands switch, left leg circles up to go down. And return with a bent knee. And just take a few more rounds like this, starting to feel more and more of these muscle groups engaged. Imagine when the body has released a lot of its tension, mobility becomes much more accessible. This one's one of those mobility moments. Gently strengthening the body, but also working and making the joint have to move. So if this is still doing okay, let's take 2 more rounds to each side. And after that second round, we'll come up to a seated place. So you can roll like a ball up, or you can roll through the side to press up. But let's take it to a cobbler's pose. Bottoms of feet together. So the spine little bit of an opportunity to gradually relax those back muscles up and forward. Just if there's new areas that are resisting. Spine lifts back up, pick up the knees. I'm gonna set up a little hug around the thighs. This brings our torso right up to the thighs. And so start to walk the feet forward any amount until it feels like hamstring and low back are equally working for the forward fold. Some might be here almost at the top, some might be almost flat to the ground. Doesn't matter too much. It's the amount where low back and hamstrings are both stretching together. Feel how it's almost like we're discovering what degree our back is willing to stretch forward. So in that angle, take a few beautiful breaths. And then as we start to release our hands, keep the spine at the same spot. Hands coming to left and right to prop that spine up. And then just kind of play with it. See if the legs are willing to go just a little bit closer to straight with the spine at that angle. Nothing forceful if it doesn't want to go. But just a few easy breaths if so. Another easy breath, inhale 4, exhale 6. Pressing into the ground to support the spine, we lift up. Bring the legs to simple cross leg. The hand on each knee. We're going to take a couple of cat-cows. So feel the spine easy, round back. That's our exhale. When the heart goes forward and through, lift the gaze up, inhale. Just move through your breath cycle. Go 2 more rounds. Spine straight up right after that second one. From that straight spine, let yourself gaze over right shoulder as far as you can. Through that part of the neck. Moving back forward to switch sides, gaze over the other. Turning forward, drop the right ear to right shoulder. The head floats up, left ear to left shoulder. Back up. right hand to the right side. Left hand leans up and over. Pause for a few breaths. Feel as if this is relieving some stress out of the body. It's the chance to stretch in that area that maybe doesn't always get stretched. One more inhale. Exhale, easy, easy return journey up. Second side. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly return. Inhale, let's circle arms up to sky. Exhale, twist over your right side. Pausing for a moment in the twist. Inhale, back up to sky. Exhale, twist second side. Inhale, back up to sky. Exhale, hands down to heart. Planting the hands behind you, the fingers will point forward. Walk your wrists backwards until you're in a wrist stretch. From the wrist stretch, try to straighten the spine and then even continue to arch the heart up a little bit. If it's comfortable for the head to drop down on the pillow that the shoulders make, take that. Head floats easily back up. As we rise up, maybe shake the wrist just 2 or 3 times. And then find the floor. Take a chance to scoot forward. Stretching the spine long. Good. Rising up, take it to hands and knees. When you're here, right foot will slide to the back of the mat. Press back until you feel that right calf in a stretch. Releasing out of the calf stretch, float that right leg up as high as you can, straight leg. And then 3 times, take that right knee to the nose. Take it back and up. And 2. 1. Good. Knee returns to floor. Slide the left foot back. Half stretch for a few breaths. And start to float up. 3 times, reach nose. And take it high. 2. 1. Good. Setting up for downward facing dog. Make sure that you're spreading the fingers and pressing down through each and every fingertip as you lift up. That makes it so that we're not jamming the wrist bones down. Makes very little weight actually happen in the wrists. So a couple of wiggles if that feels useful. Let's start to float the right leg clear up to sky. We'll step the right foot in between hands, lowering the back knee. Allow hips to take a moment to sink forward. Walking hands up to thigh if the balance is there. And from here, we're taking a twist. Leave the left hand on that right knee. Right hand spirals open. If anybody prefers to slip down to the elbow, that's fine. It's up to you. See if the hips can sink any further forward. Good. Now torso comes forward. Take the left hand, drop it to that back thigh. And then as right hand reaches up to sky, see if the hips will continue to sink forward. Huge inhale. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Front leg straightens, half split. As the front leg starts to slide underneath you, perhaps you just choose a nice child pose for this first one, unless you know you want to take a flow already. Give it a couple of breaths, whichever option you're taking. To down dog. Left leg floats up to sky. As we step that left foot in between hands, lower the back knee. Hips are sinking forward. See about walking hands up to the thigh. Continuing to sink forward with the hips. Right hand stays at the knee, left hand spirals open, unless you want to slip down to elbow for prayer position. Winding torso. Right hand drops to that back thigh. Left hand scoops up to sky. Hips are still sinking deep. And the hands drop all the way down, half split. Beautiful. So as this leg slides back underneath us, we'll try out a push-up. So you can either go from a full plank position or from a kneeling plank position. So for this push-up, we just go as low as we can control and then press all the way back up. Once we've pressed up, drop the hips down into cobra. And then child pose or down dog. This is one of those down dogs. You don't have to stay super long. You're just enjoying it as long as it feels useful for the body until eventually you're ready to come up to the top of the mat, forward fold. It's up to you when to make that transition. Knees can be bent or straight. It's all your personal preference. Good. So not super significant whether we're going to do this next little twist from fingers on the floor or fingers on shins. Doesn't matter too much, but let's walk ourselves in a little twist over to the right side. Grabbing onto the right calf or right side of the floor. Knees all the way over to the left side. Through the center, just a good breath in and out. Soften the knees, circle the arms up, rise. Hands drop down to the heart. And from here, circling arms back up to sky. Leave the left hand up high. Right hand drops to the low back. From here, gaze over the right shoulder, so it's like a supported half twist. Circling right hand back up to sky. Left hand to the low back, gaze over left shoulder. And reaching arm back up. Dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the hands plant. Slide the feet back to plank. From plank position, the left knee drops to floor. The right foot is at the back. Slide to that foot being completely on the ground. And then this right arm will take a complete rainbow shape all the way up to point to the side of the room. So we've got that whole right half of the body stretching out. Okay, stay here for 2 more breaths, or slide that left foot back for side plank, 2 more breaths. And then hands and knees drop down to switch sides. Slide the left foot back. Left arm up to stretch to front of you. And then stay here 2 more breaths, or slide the right foot back, side plank, 2 breaths. Lowering to plank or kneeling plank, 2 push-ups this time. Or as much as you have that strength and control to press back up. Good. 1 more. Dropping the hips down, cobra. Child pose or down dog. Good. So we'll start to transition on from down dog. Let's lift right leg up to sky. Let it reach high. Step right foot forward in between hands. Back heel drops down, warrior 1 shape. Both the arms up to sky. Take a brief twist. Left hand reaching to front of room, right hand to back. And float back up. And then allow the hips to turn to that top left corner of mat. So it's just opening a little bit. As the hips go backwards, we're going to start bending forward, reaching the fingers forward toward that top left corner of mat. So the spine's getting pulled really long forward. The fingertips have almost no weight because the hips shifted so far back. So really long reach for that body, the upper body. Good. So from here, we start to turn our toes to pivot toward the long edge of the mat. This right knee is still bent. You're either in this high side lunge with the right bend, or you can drop down to low side lunge, glutes dropping closer to hip. breaths here. And we'll switch the legs. So now the straight leg is going to be the right leg. And up through the center. We're in the goddess squat, toes are turned out 45 degrees. We're bending the knees, sinking down. Hands are on each inner knee, pressing the thighs open as we lean the torso partly forward. For me, locking the arms straight tends to help those hips open up the most. So let's take a little twist from here. Right shoulder dips to the center. And left shoulder. Beautiful. Back through the center. Straighten both legs, turn the toes forward. We'll take a nice wide angle forward fold. Maybe hands come to elbow creases or hands reaching for ankles. Find a spot that feels useful. Soften the knees, roll the spine up. And from here, shift your legs directly to warrior one. So we pivot to face the hips back forward, front knees bent, back leg straight. Sweep up to sky. Take that warrior one, twist again, left hand forward, right hand back. Go ahead and face up to top of that. Good. And then arms back up to sky. We'll do a warrior three variation. Leave the right arm by the ear as the left hand drops down by the thigh. We're floating over that leg. Good, pivoting up. Take it to eagle, just tap that left thigh over. Back to me floating. Warrior three variation, we'll do it twice more. And up. Thigh wraps to tap. Good. One more time. Kick back. Up. Wrap and tap. Stay. Left elbow winds under. See if you can sink the hips a little lower. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind. Let's step the feet about as wide as the mat. Toes turning out. We'll take a brief malasana squat. You can always sit on block if needed. Press the hips open. Lengthen the spine up. Good. The high squat variation is a beautiful option. One more breath cycle. Inhale 4, exhale 6. As fingers lower down, keep the legs wide, turn the toes forward. From this wider shape, let's walk the fingers over to the right side. Over to the left side. Back through the center. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Slide back to plank. Perhaps kneeling plank if you wish, 3 push-ups. Down and up. 2, 1. Drop the hips down to cobra. I'll close our down dog. Left leg starts to float up to the sky. Step left foot in between hands, back heel down. Warrior 1. Take the twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Arms float back up. This is where we turn the hips open to that top right corner of that, so just a little bit. Hips bend back a little bit, taking a lot of your weight as the fingertips try to stretch up to that top right corner. Front leg is still bent. That left knee bent. We're going to the low or the high side lunge, so turn over to the side of the mat. If you're at the low lunge, maybe there's the opportunity to play with balance for the second side. One hand to heart or both hands. I'll switch to second leg. Planting hands, set the legs up for goddess pose, torso's up, right? This time in our goddess, let's circle arms up to sky. And then wind the right elbow under the left eagle's wrap. From the eagle wrap, imagine the arms are like a big elephant trunk. Let's trace that elephant trunk clockwise. So dip over to the right, circle all the way down. Left and up. Go ahead and go counterclockwise. If you're volunteering. Good. Keep the legs squatted. Circle arms up to sky. Inhale. And left elbow under. This time, go counterclockwise first. Just the full circle. And clockwise. Good. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, clasp hands behind the back. Let's pull into that shoulder stretch as we bow forward. Good, release the hands, soften the knees, roll up. We're shifting our hips all the way to face top of mat, warrior 1 position. Press is bent. Arms sweep up to sky. Take that brief twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Back up to sky. Leave the left arm by ear, right hand drops to side. Warrior 3, asymmetrical variation. And then tilt up to wrap right side briefly over, tapping it. Eagle. Unwind. Warrior 3 variation. 2. Lifting up. Breath. And 1 more. This third time, stay in eagle. Right elbow under. See if the hips will sink a little bit deeper. Good. Unwind arms, unwind legs. Big toes are close, heels are slightly separated. Circle arms up to sky. Leave the left hand up, right hand to low back. Gaze over right shoulder, leaning back, slight twist. And reach that hand up. Left hand to low back, gaze over left shoulder. Reaching back up. Hands at heart. We're going to try to play with a little toe squat. If you know that's not going to work for you, you can either hold like fierce pose, or you can drop down to kneeling instead. So for the toe squat, we start to lift heels up as we drop glutes down close to heels. Keep the inner thighs squeezing together. Good. We're welcome to try to test balance. Circle arms up to sky. Down to heart. Drop the right hand down, left hand leans laterally up and over. Try to find that balance in the center. Circle arms up to sky. Down to heart. Left hand down, right hand up and over. And balance in the center. One more circle up to sky. Down to heart. Good. Let's all make our way down to sitting, however we want to get there. One hand in front, one hand behind. Good. Once we're sitting, extend the legs out in front of you. And let's allow our feet to do a huge circle clockwise and counterclockwise. Take another one each direction. That sense of gratitude for what they just did for us. That was a lot. Good. And then circling arms up to sky. Take a huge inhale. Exhale, drop down, forward fold. The spine lifts back up. We're going to try to get this right leg to float in front of us. So some of us might grab left hand to the outside of that right foot. Some of us might grab closer to calf or kind of knee area. So just find that spot where you can grip on. These legs floating. From that spot, we're going to take our right arm forward, trace it back like a rainbow, up and back, and forward. Trace two. The third one, stay in the twist just a little bit longer. So returns forward. Let that knee soften into a bench shape. Place that right foot to left thigh. And then inhale, circle arms up to sky. Drop all the way forward and down. Raising back up. Straighten the right leg. The left is the one that's going to lift, so it's right hand hooking wherever it can. Load it up. 3 of those rainbow circles with the left arm. Reaching up and back. Turn forward. 2. Last one, stay. Turning forward, the knee softly bends, set the foot to thigh, circle up to sky, and drop down. Okay, as we rise up, let's work our way down to the ground. Maybe utilize the core, trying to turn slowly down. It may feel nice to take a final twist. If your body prefers other last stretches, that's fine. If you're with me for this final twist, slide the left leg long, hug the right knee in. And we'll start to allow that right knee to twist across the body to left. We lost it at all. Return back to inhale 4, exhale 6. Unwind, drop the right leg down. Left knee gets a hug in. And invite it across the body to the right. Good. Unwind. Your body's completely ready for Shavasana. Just release. There's more stretches that need to happen before you're comfortable. That's always fine. You always have that permission. But as we're finding ourselves releasing to the Shavasana sooner or later, really try to take at least a couple of those good deep breaths. Inhale 4, exhale 6. Imagining with the inhale section, like we're gathering up all tension that's still left over in the body. With that nice exhale, nice and long, very slow, is leaving our system entirely. So you could take that the whole Shavasana, or just take 5 or 6 rounds here at the beginning. Feel the body free of tension, free of stress. Here, begin to deepen the inhales, the exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually we'll come up to a comfortable seated place. With hands at the heart, we feel the body in this moment free of stress and tension, or at least close to it. And we recognize that whenever those things come up in our experience, we have these tools, breath and movement, to help us work some of that out so that our experience can be one with less stress, with greater immunity. So with these ideas to help lead us on, let's wrap up the wonderful time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.